MicroQuips. MicroQuips is a micro-leasing NGO founded in Accra, Ghana in 2009. The organization finances equipment for women who run micro-businesses in the Greater Accra West Municipality of the Greater Accra region, with the intent of creating a sustainable economic fundament for themselves and their family, and empowering women and local micro-businesses, consequently actively contributing to development of the community. MicroQuips directly purchases needed equipment, hence the name MicroQuips, and leases them to the beneficiary. Whilst the beneficiary is in the process of repaying an installment, the equipment is still owned by MicroQuips. Once the lease repayments have been completed, the lessee becomes owner of the equipment. Historical context and genesis. In Ghana, the concept of microfinance is not new. Traditionally, people have saved and taken little informal loans from individuals and groups for starting small-scale businesses. Some evidence shows that the first credit union in Africa was established in northern Ghana in 1955 by Canadian Catholic missionaries. Women in both rural and urban areas are predominantly the clients of microfinance in Ghana. They are engaged in activities such as food processing, minor trading, farming, and street vending. In Ghana's Growth and Poverty Reduction Strategy GPRS Roman II, one of the premier aims is to eliminate poverty and income inequality, particularly amongst the productive but less privileged people who constitute a vast majority of the working population. 80% of the working population is found in the private informal sector, as shown in a 2000 population and housing census. The group's characteristics are, for instance, lack of access to credit, which constrains the growth and development of that sector of the economy. In a 2003 International Monetary Fund country report on Ghana, it has been reported that weaknesses in the financial sector that restrict financing opportunities for productive private investment are a particular impediment to business expansion in Ghana. In addition, the World Bank said that access to financial services is imperative for the development of the informal sector and also helps to mobilize excess liquidity through savings that can be made available as investment capital for national development in Ghana. After having observed and examined the use of loans by beneficiaries, the organization noted that microloans were not predominantly utilized for business purposes, but to support a broad spectrum of household needs, medical expenses, education fees, or events such as weddings and funerals. MicroQuips suggests that micro-leasing through investment in fixed capitals, equipments, and technology offers a more sustainable impact on women's businesses. With 50 selected women entrepreneurs, MicroQuips started its pilot project in 2009. It now provides its services to 200 micro-businesses annually through financing of physical capital to women such as refrigerators, stoves, and sewing machines. Volunteer Partnerships for West Africa VPWA, an Accra-based national NGO that offers international volunteer and internship opportunities, was the provider of the initial funding for MicroQuips. In 2010 and 2011, VPWA received the United Nations Volunteer Awards. VPWA volunteers and interns assist MicroQuips staff in their daily operations. Application procedure and practice. 1. A prospective client inquires with MicroQuips about receiving an equipment lease. MicroQuips staff interviews the prospective beneficiary about her business and teaches her basic bookkeeping. 2. After 2 weeks of conducting business using the approved bookkeeping methods, MicroQuips examines the prospect's profits and evaluates her need for services, the cost of the equipment, and her ability to make lease payments. 3. If approved for a lease, the client and MicroQuips decide on what kind of equipment she needs and where and how to attain it. 4. Once the client has received the leased equipment, she has a 2-week grace period before lease payments begin. 5. Lease payments are due every Friday but may be made at any time before that. Often, beneficiaries pay off the leases early. 6. At the end of the lease term, if all lease payments have been made in full, ownership of the equipment is transferred to the client. 7. MicroQuips conducts an exit interview after the final lease payment is made to collect data regarding the impact of the lease on the client's business. This information is used in evaluating future lease applications.